All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again, fresh off the plane, probably about 20 minutes ago, and you know we can't miss the Timbo Sugar Show gospel. So we drove straight here, and we're doing the pod, and let's everyone give a round of applause. Sugar Sean's commentating debut. He was real nervous about it and had to commentate for about, what was it, 5 hours?
No,
it was about a solid 4, though.
Was it really that long?
A solid 4, because I think he sat down around 5:45 and it didn't get done till about 9:30. You got to commentate with the legend Mauro Ranallo, who used to commentate for Pride back in the day. He used to commentate for Strikeforce back in the day, and then the boxing guy Sean Porter. And you didn't really even do a ton of research. You said.
So I looked at some comments when they announced that I was gonna commentate, and it was a shit show.
They said you're gonna suck.
Oh god, they're like, this fucker. I do not want to hear this guy talk. There's no way this could be good. And then I got a lot. Yeah, all the comments so far have been good. Suga did decent.
Put on your professional suit, and you really turned it on. And for you to sit there for 4 hours dialed into one thing, that's what was pressed me most. I'm like, oh, he's gonna be puckering.
Well,
out
it was.
About half hour. He's gonna need a TikTok.
No, I was surfing during. Yeah, it was a fight. Then you got 10-15 minutes. Fight 10-15 minutes. You guys, Mike, Sono, Emron sat right behind me. I could turn around. Fucking Nate Diaz, little fucking weasel buddy. I don't know. This guy tried to fight me at the club in Vegas one night, and then he's talking. He literally just got his ass whooped. Lost a boxing match. He's 5'4",
and he's 2-6.
He's 2-6, and he turns around. He's talking shit to me.
And we have no problems with Nate Diaz and any of the guys. All the guys are nice.
I have no idea why he's got beef with me.
All the guys are cool. Even Nate's really cool. But this little dude, I don't know if it's just really major little man syndrome, but he's just like always trying to beef up.
But he won't beef if it's just like, he'll make sure his team's around. It's like, dude, what do you want to, fight? You want to fight, we can fight. He doesn't want to fight. He wants to cause a brawl, cause a scene. It's like, buddy, you're literally 5'4", 2-6 in boxing.
Yeah. And then
what are you doing?
They had we'll just start from the kind of the beginning, the fights that were good. Amado Vargas, who is Fernando Vargas's son, versus Ryan Garcia's brother. Ryan Garcia just came out just tweaking. He came out tweaked up. You could see him in the back locker room like dancing, shadow boxing. And then when he walked out with the Sean Garcia, I was watching him. He was just acting a fool. Got in the ring. He was talking shit to the other team. And this was a pretty heated bout. 2 10-0 guys, right?
Yeah.
And that fight went good. It looked like that Vargas kid came out and he just knew he was just going to put the pressure on him, put the pace on him. He said Sean Garcia doesn't look in shape. Then we ran into Sean Garcia and he said he was pretty nervous.
Yeah, after the fight, both kids were really, really nice. Met him before the fight at the hotel. Both of them were nice kids. And then met him after the fight. Took a shot with Sean Garcia. He said he was a little bit, the lights kind of got to him a little bit. But that happened. Both those kids they were born in 2000. That tripped me out. I was like, God damn, that's crazy. Both young bucks, got a lot of potential. And
I feel bad for Sean Garcia because he's got this brother who's got all this shit going on, and he seems like a real nice kid. Yeah.
He was like, bro, Ryan's kind of going through some shit. Just he means well. He's a good kid. He's just kind of
Yeah.
Going through.
Yeah, and then when the Vargas has his dad's a legend. He's got his 2 brothers who are pros. So that seems like a pretty
3.
cool.
I think maybe there's 3 total. Never mind. Yeah.
Cool boxing family. And then we got this Kermel Moten kid who walked out with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was in the ring. Came over, said what up to Sean, said what up to the commentators, and he is 18 years old. He was born in 2006. That tripped me out. That was weird.
Kid looked 12. His shoulders, you could just tell he had been punching his entire life. His shoulders and back were just fucking. That dude's going to be. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be like a little Gervonta because he's kind of like the same build, same style, same size. Better. It looked like
probably 5-6 years. He's gonna be the star of the sport. I bet the way he was throwing those combos. Yeah, he didn't fight like the best opponent, but the way how slick he was and how sharp he was, and that's a big moment. There's 19,000 people in that arena. And he looked ferocious and fast and not scared. And he looked comfortable in there, freshly 18 years old.
Yeah, the dude had braces. The dude had fucking braces. I was so impressed that I guess we'll just keep bouncing around the fights. But yeah, that kid looked good.
Yeah. And then next up, so we're excited to watch him fight again, that kid. Out of Floyd Mayweather's camp. He's coming up with Floyd. You can really tell Floyd's taking him under his wing and cares about the kid. So we'll see how far he goes. And then we had Chris Avila versus Anthony Pettis, and we always kind of count out that Chris Avila. He didn't do very well in the UFC, kind of got beat up in the UFC, but comes over and he's got a slick boxing style versus these MMA guys. Fought Jeremy Heath and Stevens, who's a very good boxer himself, hard hitter, but Chris Avila has that same pace Nate does, and he's pretty slick. He puts his shoulders up, he moves, and he just can go the whole time, punching at about 60-70%, and he kind of wore out Anthony Pettis. He wore him out and started piecing him up because it's like Anthony Pettis has this explosive, fast twitch muscle where he can crack you and KO you, and it's almost dangerous in boxing when you don't know how to use it and you haven't been boxing a ton recent.
It's such a badass style. Literally the exact same style as Nate. Punches and bunches. Got pretty good defense. Definitely is gonna get cracked, but it's not gonna really back you up. Super impressive. I figured that fight was gonna kind of play out like that. I mean, Anthony's such a good athlete. Anthony's 37 too, so Anthony's getting up there a little bit.
And I mean, Chris Avila too. It doesn't look like he's that in great shape. His physique doesn't look in great shape, but he comes out and he punches the whole time. He looked good. That was impressive. So good for him. The next fight we had Shane Mosley Jr. versus Daniel Jacobs.
Yeah, that was Sugar Shane Mosley's son, Shane Mosley Jr. That bro, his face that trips me out. His face trips me the fuck out. I'm like that. He looks like his dad so much.
He looks like his dad's son. But this kid looked good, dude. This kid looked fucking good. And it's like I want to go back and watch a little bit of maybe a couple of his old fights where he's lost and who's beat him. But he fought Daniel Jacobs, and Daniel Jacobs was a little older too, but you could tell Daniel Jacobs is a fucking vet. Yeah. And he came out and just pieced him up. He was too fast twitch. He was just feinting constantly.
77-inch reach. I think it was 77, 78.
So maybe. Creative with his feints and so creative with his combos. As soon as Daniel Jacobs would come forward, he'd just slide right out of range so slickly, and he beat him up. Unanimous decision. Yeah,
he took control of the fight first round and just never let off. Like Jacobs could not get started. That was nice. That was the co-main event. The crowd was booing. You know, that was an MMA crowd there. That was an MMA crowd at a boxing event, sold out Honda Center. So impressive that both those guys, 39 years old, Jorge and Nate, can sell out an arena.
The crowd was booing that Shane Mosley fight, and it was such a sick fight. Like,
yeah,
and they're like, "Boo!" They just want to see people scraps in the pocket.
There was
like
no knockouts on the main card. So Jorge versus Nate Diaz. The walkout was fucking badass. Watching the fight from that spot, the commentator booth was it was so fun.
Oh, it was legendary, dude.
Yeah.
That was such a good celebrity death match last night. That was fire.
Oh, I'm glad you watched it. We were wondering if you watched it.
Did you watch the Roku doc? Jokes, I'm kidding.
I did watch first 20 minutes. So hold on, I have a Vizio TV and I'm fucking trying like hell to find this damn thing. I had to watch it on my phone, streaming on my TV, kept cutting out. I'm like, I'll finish it later. But
there's ads or like fucking 30-second ads every once in a while.
I got up to where you were getting ready to fight Aljo.
Oh wow, interesting.
That's an electric fucking doc.
Honestly, I was sitting there and I was thinking about you shit talking me, but sitting there, I was getting all excited. It was sick.
Yeah, I think
there was one part you say.
Let's go back to that. Nate,
just one part. Okay, where you realize you're like, man, my mind is so fucking powerful. And then you said that, and I was like, that hit.
Oh, that doc! If you haven't watched that doc out there,
I wish that was on Netflix so bad.
Yeah, it would fucking bang.
Pisses me off. That's not.
Yeah, but they had Nate Diaz walked out, and this whole arena, dude, was fucking popping. Like that was just as loud as any of most UFC main events I've ever heard. I mean, Boston was louder, but that was fucking loud for Nate Diaz.
People just smoking weed in the fucking arena.
As soon as he started walking out, people were lighting up, and it smelled like weed. Maybe that was just around us. But Jorge getting booed so bad, and 10 rounds. These guys are going to battle each other 10 fucking rounds. And
they didn't hug each other the whole time.
That's what I thought was going to happen too.
Yeah, I know. And that they both went out there. They both wanted to beat each other, and they were swinging away. I love it.
Jorge had such a good game plan. He came out, his punches were he kind of matched Nate's punching speed and power at the beginning, and because he knew he had 30 minutes is a long fucking time to fight. That's longer than a 5-5. So obviously it's not, MMA is more exhausting, but still 30 minutes of fighting. He knew, he came out southpaw, tripped me out. I was like, what the fuck? And he looked good southpaw. He was throwing good double jab twos, like his left hand looked good, going to the body good.
Yeah, dude. He came out. It's like when you're fighting someone like Nate, it's like, okay, I can crack this dude and it's probably going to land. It's probably going to hurt him. But it's like, I cannot keep cracking him because he's going to be there. So he was so smart about his strategy. And I was so impressed. I thought after that third, fourth round, I'm like, he's going to go back to orthodox eventually. Stayed southpaw. He must have saw something, or maybe he thought it was going to mess Nate up or something. That right hook kept landing. He kept digging his body. He hurt Nate quite a few times. Every time he would hurt Nate, or Nate would get a little tired, he would do one of his antics. Turn around, take a breather, just give him a second.
Sixth round, he came out orthodox for just a little bit. I thought he was going to do 6 rounds southpaw, and then the rest, I was like, he's going to stay orthodox. He was the only orthodox for a couple minutes, though.
30 minutes versus Nate Diaz. And you haven't been boxing a ton, and Jorge is what, 30?
39. They're both 39.
39.
They both turned 40 this year.
What a fucking badass fight, dude. That was just such a sick fight. Watching that cage side or ringside was so fucking
I feel like there's only a few, don't put that hat on. There's only a few UFC fighters that could really, get people that excited about boxing. But I'm like, bro, UFC's missing out. Because there's something about watching 2 MMA guys box. That was a sick fucking boxing match.
Oh, you're saying UFC could do that?
They could. I feel like they should. Yeah.
Fuck
I would
yeah, that's a great idea.
Box certain guys.
Well, remember the Zuffa boxing was going to happen for a while. I wonder whatever happened to that or what went on with that, because they were even making Zuffa boxing shirts. Yeah. That was coming. But for those guys, like Jorge was on a 4-fight skid. Nate
just lost to Jake. And now look at the fucking poll they still had. I'm so curious what the pay-per-view numbers did. I feel like they probably didn't do that great, just literally because people stream it so fucking easy.
Well, and I wonder how much of the pay-per-view events, like maybe a UFC 300, UFC 300, how many bars buy the fight? How many bars buy the boxing matches like this?
You're all at a bar and the Stream East link keeps popping up. They're like, sorry about that.
Yeah, refresh. Who do you believe won the boxing match, Nate or George? That was just such a hard, Jorge, sorry. That was just such a hard one to score, but I think Jorge was landing harder shots. He was ringing Nate's bell a few times. Nate was busy. Like you said, Nate landed a couple 1-2s, but clearly on the punch count, Jorge won. Jorge won. He outpunched him. But California commission, probably California judges.
Shut the fuck up, buddy. You know what happened? It was a draw. Nate versus Jorge. It was a draw. The first fight, doctor stoppage. Second fight, draw. We need a trilogy. We need a rubber match. Soccer. 1-on-1. Who kicks the ball in the goal more? And I know you want to say something, but you didn't got shit to say, buddy, because it's my time to talk. So shut the fuck up, buddy. I thought it was a draw. I don't know. I literally wouldn't have been mad at that. I know people probably would have been like, fuck, but I thought it was a draw.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely could have been a draw. I feel like god damn. What are you watching here? What are you watching? Mauro Ranallo, I was looking at his scorecards that he had going on there. He had Jorge winning, but it wasn't that big of a blowout, that it was that big of a robbery. Third fight, could it be a bare knuckle bout? What would happen in that? A bare knuckle bout where there's 2-minute rounds. Probably Nate, he probably has a lot of scar tissue, so he might get cut open, but I'd love to see it.
The stat line showed that Jorge was up on all the strikes landed, but Nate was more active. From your perspective in there, any controversy behind that? Like, if they said Jorge won, I would have been like, yeah. If they said Nate won, I was like, fuck, I could see that perspective too. But if I said it was a draw, it was such an evenly matched fight. I don't know. It's a fucking draw.
Yeah, and I wonder, I didn't get to see a lot of the post-fight conference or anything. I wonder if they kind of hashed it out and they were cool with each other, or if they were still kind of talking shit, wanting to rumble one more time.
They were calling for the trilogy. They're saying it's respect, man. It's respect. Then Nate said N-word and it was all good.
Fuck, I'd like to see him run it back.
I would watch.
Who's next for Nate Diaz? After the mic, he called out Jake Paul. He said, you're dead. He said, Leon Edwards dead. I wonder what the UFC thinks. Like, bring him back for one more fight. He's not going to get a title shot in the welterweight division. He's just not. But him versus Jake Paul, he did look a little bit better shape than he did versus Jake Paul. I think he thought Jake Paul was kind of a joke, so he didn't train that hard for him. He trained hard. His physique looked good. Jorge Masvidal, that was a whole different Nate Diaz.
Yeah, you said it. You called out Jake and Leon. That just goes to show you. I know it was a bigger weight class, heavier 10 pounds, but Jake's good. Jake is fucking good. So I would love to see Nate versus Jake run it back. I just don't know if the weight, it would probably be at the same weight. Jake's a big fella. Nate versus Leon. Fuck it. UFC can make anything happen, man. UFC, remember? Nate almost knocked him out in the last 10 seconds or whatever that was.
I mean, Jake Paul is how old?
26.
26 prime. He's a big guy. He naturally walks around a pretty thick 200 pounds. So I'm pretty sure they fought at 185. So that weight would have a big thing to do with it. And yeah, I mean, Jake Paul is in his athletic prime.
All right, who is next for Jorge? Jorge Masvidal versus Jake Paul would be sweet. I mean, it's hard to make that saying he lost just not a name, but it was such a close fight. Jake versus Jorge, that would be in Miami. That'd be electric, buddy. Jorge versus, I'm trying to even think like boxing. I mean, that Chris Avila. No, I don't know. Jorge versus whoever it's gonna be is gonna be fucking fire. Hit that gong.
Who's next for Jorge? I don't think it should be anybody else but Nate Diaz. I think they got to actually settle the score, and that fight was too close to go either way. I agree with you. It should have been a draw, but it wasn't. So I think the next fight should be Jorge, Nate. It's the most evenly matched bout. Both MMA guys, both similar age, both similar size. So I think that should be next. Does Nate have UFC title potential? It's like you never can count out Nate Diaz. Anytime you count him out, he's going to probably prove you wrong and make it a fight. He is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's got very good striking. His boxing right now is sharper than it's ever been. For the UFC title, I mean, you can't. Out of 10 times, if Leon Edwards fought Nate Diaz, how many times could Nate Diaz beat him? 2, 3 times out of 10. So on anytime different.
You're so smart, man. I think Nate's style is just like so specific. He can beat a lot of people, but when it comes to guys like Leon Edwards, it's gonna be fucking hard for him to beat Leon. It's just so well-rounded everywhere, so sharp on the feet. He's got a good gas tank. It's like Leon's the fucking champ right now for a reason. Nate will probably be 40 this year. I mean, I'd watch it. I'd fucking watch it, buddy. Going back and forth with Illa on X. Is this the fight to make once Merab is finished? Does Illa at PFP number 5 make sense? Illa, yeah, I tweeted, how the fuck's Illa above me on the pound for pound? He's 5 inches shorter and has less title defenses. Those are just facts. Those are I wasn't trying to be funny. I was stating facts, and I got a lot of hate for it. And they're like, bro, he beat Volk. Like, buddy, I really give a fuck less where I'm at on the pound for pound.
And realistically, it's like Ilya's got to fight Max next. And there's a very good chance Max could have his number and piece him apart for 5 rounds. You never know. And Sugar's got to fight Merab next, who's a fucking monster, who's on the 10-fight win streak in the UFC against the most elite guys. So even talking about that fight, it's fun to talk about and shit. But these guys got some serious battles ahead of them. So we'll find out after that.
Ilya's going to be the next Cody Garbrandt. He won his nice little fight. He had his little dominant cruise performance. He's about to get pieced up by Max Holloway and then go downhill from there. Not really. I feel like Ilya is one of the most skilled guys actually in the UFC, but fuck Illa.
Yeah, Cody Garbrandt swings from his armpits. He gets really emotional. Illa is so sharp. His hands are so high. He doesn't really get super emotional. It doesn't seem like yet. He's way more sharper. It's way different. But like I said, Max Holloway has made people look very, very bad, and that is definitely possible against Illa Topuria. Thanks to our sponsors, SURFSHARK is a VPN so you can surf safely online. Protect your identity, block ads and pop-ups, armor your devices, monitor data breaches, browse privately. Surfshark VPN is a very good way to get online safely without people being in your business. All right, guys, don't forget to check out Surfshark, antivirus protection made convenient. Scan files while you download them. Enjoy robust webcam protection. Big one there. Be protected from the newest viruses. Okay, guys, this VPN is no risk to you at all. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and that's surfshark.deals/Timbo Sugar. Best VPN in the fucking world. WBC president banned Ryan Garcia from WBC for racial and religion comments against black people and Muslims. Does what he said go beyond what free speech for companies should allow? It's like, well, you're trying to represent boxing, the WBC, whatever, and you come out there and you say
it.
You say the N-word, and you say not even in a funny way, not even a funny like that's my, you know, you say it.
Yeah, he said fuck. Yeah, he's crazy. There's something about free speech, man. I don't know. That's tough. That's like if you're in your business and you hire somebody to perform, it's like it makes you look bad. It makes you look bad. So yeah, I mean, if it's free speech, but this is a little bit different. It's like you can't just it makes the WBC look bad. That was too fucking far.
Does it really make the WBC look bad? Are people when Ryan Garcia says that, are they like, wow, WBC?
No. If they allow him to fight again and promote him,
yeah,
that's what would make them look bad.
Promote Erasing.
So, Volk wants to fight Oliveira or Poirier. What do you think about these matchups and practically a move up to 155? I like it for Volk. Cut less weight, be less fucking brain damage possibly. Charles Oliveira versus Volk is dude, sign me up. Volk versus Poirier, sign me up. I love those matchups. Let's put them on the sphere. Let's get it, baby. I love those fights.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Volkanovski out of camp. He looks like he's a solid 185, sometimes 190. I don't know what he actually is, but he looks very, very thick. It doesn't look healthy to cut to 145. And eating those shots, when you've cut that much weight, eating those shots. So he's a big, thick dude. His build could handle it. Okay. Moving up to 155 and fought Oliveira would be sweet. I think you meant to say fight. Yeah.
You said fought. You're so...
Chandler offered title shot versus Islam. If Conor isn't available, what should he do? I mean, at this point, he's being realistic. Islam is a very, very dangerous fight. He's so sharp on his feet. Chandler's not going to be able to out-wrestle Islam. He knows Conor McGregor is going to be a giant fight. He may possibly even want to retire after the Conor McGregor fight. He's going to make some fat bread. It's going to make him this huge star, especially if he's able to beat Conor McGregor. He's one of the...
How's it going? Chandler offered title shot against Islam. Brother, Islam title fight it's not, I wouldn't say just as big as Chandler versus Conor, but it's the next biggest thing. Chandler very well could beat Islam.
How? Oh, sorry.
Let me talk, buddy. But you're right. How? Good question. He could throw a left hand, and it could hit him on his chin, and we could put him out. That's how, buddy. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great matchup, but it's a big fight.
I mean, there's not really anyone else for Conor to really battle right now than Chandler. So that should be the fight that happens.
Volk at 170?
Or Max Holloway.
Max Holloway at 125?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, we're a little sleepy.
Sorry, man. John Jones says he's fighting November 9th. No name dropped. Who will be against? John Jones, November 9th, Madison Square Garden, Stipe. This is a fight that was literally supposed to happen a year ago in the same place, same opponent. And that's as simple as that. He hurt his fucking pectoral doing some shit. And I don't really think that's any secret unless they announce something else. I know fucking Tom's defending his interim championship belt, which is kind of fire. I think that's the first ever. What do you got to say about that, bud?
People forget so easy. Stipe Miocic, a couple years ago. Was it during COVID? I think it was during COVID, where he was the man. He took out Francis. He defended his title multiple times. He was the best heavyweight to ever live. John Jones moves up, best light heavyweight to ever live. Let those two battle. I think that's the fight that should happen. But I would love to see Alex Pereira move up and battle John Jones. Hopefully John Jones has 2 more fights. Stipe and Alex Pereira. I think would be sweet. Colby calls out Oliveira and Ian Gary. Do you see these as potential matchups? I wonder what Colby thinks when he sees Ian Gary. Does he think that Ian Gary runs around a little too much? He punches at range. I'm surprised Colby didn't want that fight, but I do think Ian Gary is going to be a tougher fight for Colby than people think. They think Colby's going to come out there and just take him down and run through him. I don't think so. Either of those guys, Oliveira and Ian Gary, hopefully it happens.
Colby calls out Oliveira again. Dude, Colby versus Ian Gary. That fight they should have made last time. I don't know why that fight didn't get made. They both were saying they wanted it. One of them, obviously, behind the scenes, probably didn't want it because that fight should have been made. Colby versus Charles Oliveira. I would love to see Charles move up from 155 to 170. He's so dangerous off his back. He's dangerous on the feet. I think he could do really, really good at 170. So I like both those fights. Let's make it happen. I'm going to call Sean right now on the line. Sean Shelby, how we do it, buddy?
I think that should be the move for Oliveira. He's had so many big fights at 155, and it's not like he's a short guy. He looks like he walks around at 5'11", and like you said, it's not like there's many holes in his game. So I think there's some huge fights for him at welterweight. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought to you by BetterHelp. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Everyone's dealing with stuff. What's something you're proud of in 2024 so far? What's something you still want to accomplish this year? When life goes so fast, it's important to take a moment to celebrate your wins and make adjustments for the rest of the year. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. That's another thing BetterHelp can help you with. Your mental health is very important, and BetterHelp is an easy way to get some help. Talk to a professional and get your mind dialed in. Take a moment. Visit BetterHelp.com/TimboSugar to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/TimboSugar.
When the fuck is Sean O'Malley fighting again? Yep, no fucking update for you, fellas. I'm still hoping for the Sphere. Still same shit, Sphere or December. I'm pretty sure either way it's going to be in Vegas next fight, which I'm pumped about. I'm excited to go back to Vegas and fight. So, you know, the Sphere, and Dana keeps saying it's going to be something fucking crazy. And then you got Connor and Chandler maybe going around. You got Max Elia. You got me, Marab. You got fucking some pretty big fights to possibly make. But honest to God, I have not heard from the UFC yet, and we're getting too goddamn close.
It's probably a tough thing for the UFC. It's like they want to let you know. If they knew, I'm sure they'd let you know right away. But when you're dealing with someone like Conor McGregor, who's just one day he probably wants it, one day he doesn't, one day he's just booger sugared up, one day he's just, they're probably waiting on that. They want to make that fight happen. They know it's going to be a huge fight. Dana wants to make the Sphere the biggest fight possible. I don't see why it wouldn't happen, but we're creeping up. I mean, we're 9 weeks out. And so hopefully something gets done. I have a feeling in this next week or the next 10 days, we're going to really know. Anthony Joshua says Alex Pereira should make his boxing debut. Who should he box? I mean, I don't know. I don't think he should box any of those big guys. Why? What's the point? He's making so much money. He's one of the biggest stars in the UFC, double champion. I don't think he should go up and box, especially any of these heavyweights. Is there a guy that's around his weight that could be a massive fight for him? I just think it's kind of pointless at his age.
Yeah, man, I totally agree. I just think Pereira's style just doesn't necessarily translate super well into boxing. He does a lot of things wrong. He has that nuke in his left hand, but it's just like, dude, he floats his chin a lot. He throws, I mean, I guess it depends who he fights. Deontay Wilder also fucking would be like maybe a good matchup for him. But I mean, I'd fucking still probably watch, man.
I agree. He's a good counterpuncher. He doesn't really punch a lot in bunches. He does throw some good jabs to the gut. But I agree. I just don't think it would be smart. Oh, I'm excited for the week. My neck is feeling good after my boy JJ cracked me full right hand right on the chin, and it didn't do shit to me. Besides, fuck my neck up for a couple days.
Dude.
And made me sick. I had this little sinus infection going on. Got my neck cracked. My ears were getting plugged. I don't know, but I'm feeling good.
Because you were holding mitts, and you were holding for the class. You were showing, hey, throw this combo, blah blah blah. Here, land this right hand. Hold it kind of close to your chin to make it realistic.
I always hold it really close to my chin.
Yeah, well, you're used to fucking me, accurate as a motherfucker. And he cracked you.
The hardest punch you can throw when you're walking into someone, they back up, plant out the right hand, boom, and he put it right on my chin. Wasn't expecting it. Wobbled my knees a little bit.
Did you want to kill?
That's what went through my mind. I want to kill him right now. But all the class was watching. I had to take a breath. I said, come over here. And I gave him a smack to the face and dug a good liver shot. Didn't really do it justice, but it had to have been a complete accident. But I'm like, good God.
God, unless he was just like, remember that one fucking time you did that? And he just said, well, this is the time.
Yep. Ding. Tried to put me out, and it didn't work. But other than that, we're serving acai bowls at the coffee shop now, and we're probably going to keep it at that for a while. It's just really, it's crazy because probably 7-8 years ago, I was telling Ryan, I'm like, God, I would love to like have an acai truck. And I've always been obsessed with coffee shops and cool coffee shops. Now I have one, and it's running good. We got Schmitty running it, and I fucking love that place. So
how's Schmitty been doing?
He's been doing good. Got some retrained on the matchas.
1 out of 10.
Keeping the 8.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
8
that's
or
higher
9.
than 7 and 6.
8 or 9. I mean,
9 even.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeez.
anything that complains about, we bring it up to him right away. Mariah brings it up to him, and it is good shit. We got the dojo running. We did a little open mat the other day. Sean brought in a wad of cash, and we did first to score 2 points gets $20 from the Sugar Show. We probably had 60 people lined up around the mats, and that's always fun.
I want to shoot like I was telling you, because that was just random as fuck. I just had cash. I was like, let's do it. I was telling Garrett we should shoot a YouTube video at the next promotions. Well, I was telling you too. Next time we do promotions, do it again and fucking. Yeah, that shit was litty.
SSFC, Sugar Show Fighting Championships. I can't wait for that because being able to commentate and being able to have to not really kind of watch your lip. Mauro Ronaldo was good about it. He was talking about your doobie brother, and how cool is Mauro Ronaldo though?
What, dude, he's so fucking cool and he's hilarious. His laugh is funny. He's just a cool fucking dude.
Yeah, he is a cool dude. I've always wondered why the UFC hasn't used him. I'm like, he's so good. His commentary is so good. You want to listen. He makes it exciting. He's super fucking smart. He's a nerd about the sport. Watch some of his old Pride fights or some of the Strikeforce fights. It's like he makes it fucking electric.
Dude, he's got a perfect voice for it. And I think I can match that. But speaking of that Roku doc, let's circle back to that. Smitty, did you just started the second episode? You didn't watch the first? Yeah. You should watch the first, second, and third. It's so good, dude. It shows how fucking gangster Dana is and how fucking gangster Hunter is. How much Hunter does behind the scenes. And because we all know Dana's on the mics all the time, but Hunter's kind of like behind the scenes. I think it's his fucking birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Hunter. But, dude, you should definitely watch that. It'll give you a whole nother level of respect for those guys. Big fights pulling out. Oliveira getting cuts on his face. Hunter having to figure out what's next. Same with Sean Shelby, Mick, all those guys. It just gives you a whole nother respect for what those guys do and how the UFC runs. So, I mean, all you guys, if you guys don't watch it, it's literally free on Roku. You just have like 30 or 90-second ads you have to watch every like 4 different times. But happy birthday, Hunter. That shit lit, boy.
Yeah. That was fucking lit, dude. Just going to these big events, it's like, God, all the shit behind the scenes that goes on to just put on these fights for people to watch is absolutely crazy. And how good the UFC has it dialed in. All the UFC employees, all the people behind the scenes that no one ever sees that do so much work. They're literally there the whole week preparing. And the team, just the UFC's got it fucking dialed.
MMA, I just truly believe is the best sport, along with the UFC being the best organization.
Even the weigh-ins, like in the boxing weigh-ins, I was watching them on YouTube, and I was like, it's in this little press conference, like it's Navers, Jorge. It feels like it should be in fucking T-Mobile, like it should be massive. And UFC just does the press conference, weigh-ins, fight week. The whole thing is just next fucking level.
And they care about their fans too, with the fan experiences.
Yep.
Well, these other promotions, they just can't survive. They try to get these guys, they spend all this money, and they just can't survive. They probably see losses 2-3 shows in a row, and they're like, well, like whatever happened to Triller?
I think that was like, they're still putting on shows. They're still doing stuff. Triller's still doing stuff.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think they've been still putting on, or like helping put on events.
That's the one thing. I mean, that you always see these promotions like Affliction back in the day, and then who knows how long World Series or the PFL is gonna last? Who knows how long it's gonna last? That's one thing with UFC. It's like it's gonna be around.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got a real question. Sean, were you invited to that all white party?
No, I would have went.
You would have went?
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish you would have.
What kind of party?
It looked sick. It was like Aiden. It was like literally all the biggest. Coyle Ray was there.
When was it?
Girls.
It was 4th of July
too.
this past weekend. It was Michael Rubin's. Do you know who that is? So he's worth $11.5 billion, and he's pretty much in charge of all sports gambling. All merchandise, all collectibles, all betting, all stuff online with social media, with all that kind of stuff. He sold his company to eBay in 2011 for $2.4 billion. Now eBay uses that. It's fucking, and looking at his photos with all those celebrities, bro, and everything, his eyes tell me that he knows something. There's something.
So you're saying he's a pedophile?
I don't know about. I'm not either. He's the coolest guy in the world. And he's a hero, or dude. What do they say about people when they have that kind of money?
You start fucking things.
Well, no, you tend to you lose interest in shit, and then you start liking manipulating people. You like being in control of things. And he had all of our influencers at this whiteout party where they all got to wear whiteout. And there's who knows how many.
It's a little weird. I would have loved to win. I would have went.
I wish you would.
You probably signed NDAs, obviously. Like
yeah.
It's just like,
and everyone probably has their. I wonder if they have their phones. I
was wondering if you got invited, because that would have been interesting. No. I thought you did, and you turned it down.
No, I'd go.
Where was it at? Was it just like
it was in
That's a good question.
I talked about it in my pod too. Somewhere out in Cali.
Whoa, dude! You just plug your pod, dude. That's easy.
The Brendan Schmitty show is.
We have 5K, baby. Thank you, Joven.
5K subs.
Yeah.
There we go.
Fuck yeah.
Speaking of 5K. I heard Sona wiping his ass in the bathroom, and I shouldn't have heard that. We're at the hotel, in the hotel room. He's in the fucking bathroom, and I'm as far away as you possibly could be. I'm on the couch on the other end. If you guys could picture, you walk in, the bathroom's right there on the right-hand side, and there's like the bed, and then there's a couch on the far end. I'm on the couch. Tim's on the bed. We're both surfing, and I hear this fucking this chafing, or like this sanding of toilet, sanding on against a wall. And I said, Sona, what the fuck are you doing? And he said, I'm wiping my ass.
I was like, holy, give that bussy a break.
I was like, that bussy about to be bleeding, buddy.
Oh my God.
Bro, but he was like, bro, I swear to God, I was this gentle. And then he like touched my shoulder. I'm like, bro, there's no way.
Did he wash his hands?
Probably not. No, I don't know. But I was like, dude. So if you guys see him, just say, hey, I hope your butthole feels all right. Because I think that shit's bleeding. That bussy's bleeding.
That bussy's taking a beating.
Dude, that bussy's probably rough.
Good to hang out with Mike Majlak. And
fucking love him.
Back in the day when I hung out with Mike Majlak for the first time, you said he was like most popping back then.
I feel like he was popping most back then.
I didn't really, I'm like, I don't know about Mike. He's kind of a fucking... But now I hang out with him. He's just a good dude. I mean, he's a nice guy, fun to hang out with. We went to this little Mexican restaurant last night. They had a DJ pop in. We had him and his girl. I think he slowed down a bit too with having a girlfriend.
Last night the DJ saved my life from.
He's got his girlfriend, so he's not always being so crazy, which is probably good. His hair looks fucking good, and it's Mikey's a good dude.
Yeah, I fucking like Mike. I'll FaceTime Mike a couple times a month randomly, just chat with him, check in with him. I like Mike a lot. It was a good time. He's actually the one that kind of got me. His job for the event was like get celebrities, get people to kind of go to the event. So I think he's the one that kind of introduced me to the commentating gig. So he's the one that was like, hey, you should commentate, or someone said, I don't remember, something like that. Sick. But yeah, so we hung out with him. We stayed at we stayed at the same hotel. Sat by the pool, tanned our tits a little bit. Fucking cool, dude. Fucking love Big Mike Majlak.
Ryan Garcia said a picture of him and his brother at the bar last night, saying Ryan Garcia says he's skipping rehab and is now his brother's full-time head coach. His poor fucking brother having to deal with that fucking crazy ass dude.
Dude, this ain't gonna end well. Ryan it's not gonna fucking end well. It's literally people want to be famous and rich, and some people just cannot fucking handle it. He's probably had issues before the money, issues before the fame. Then you just get all this fucking money, all this fame, and it literally just makes it worse. Whatever you're gonna got going on is gonna make it worse, and it's sad. It's past the point of being funny. Like it's not even. It's sad.
Yeah. Jake Paul tweeted, "Fuck you, Nate Diaz. You're a hoe who ducked my PFL $15 million MMA offer. Masvidal trash too. Shake my head. Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul MMA. How big would that be?
I don't know if that's. I don't know.
How big would that be?
Be fucking huge. I don't know if Nate's contracted with UFC still. I don't know if that would ever work in the PFL. I don't know if UFC would never let that happen if they have contract over Nate.
Huh? Because you were saying even Jorge might be contracted with UFC.
Well, I think they asked him this, how many more. He said he had 2 more fights with UFC.
Damn.
After last night's celebrity deathmatch, I'm fucking excited.
What's celebrity deathmatch? What's
that's what I'm calling it from here on out. These matchups.
Okay.
Because those guys went out there and swung. I hope Jake Paul and Mike Perry do the same thing. Because Mike Perry, I know it's a different sport with the boxing, but he's been doing his thing with bare knuckle, getting all exciting. Jake being all exciting, showing his hard work, getting all big and jacked.
Dude,
I'm excited.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And Jake, and they want me to go out there and do some stuff with W, and I fucking would love to. If I was fighting in December, I'd say let's fucking do it. But the fact that I don't know if I'm fighting in September or not, it's like I can't commit to that. So if they come to me next week, say hey September, then I'm not going to Florida. But if they say hey we're gonna try to have you fight in December, I'm like fuck it, peace out.
Is that a little frustrating for you? Because I know you're always someone that likes to get things rolling and getting done.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm in camp right now just in case because it's fucking a little over 9. It's under 10, a little over 9 weeks out. It's like I'm in camp now just in case.
Yes.
So yeah, it is frustrating though, but it is what it is, man.
Yep. Hopefully your chickens are doing good. Who was watching your chickens while they were gone?
I mean, Danny doesn't. I'm hoping she did something with them, but she just kind of doesn't really do stuff. She might have though. She definitely might have done something with them. Hope she changed out their ice waters, but I would not be surprised if she goes, "Oh, I forgot."
Joe Rogan says, "I don't think you should stand people up ever. I think once a guy takes you down, the fight is on the ground. If it's boring for the audience, tough shit." What do you think about that, dude? I mean, if you're gonna do that, then that bottom guy on bottom should be able to up kick you to your fucking face. That's the only fair part about that.
That'd be fair. I mean, you up kick to the bottom. Bro, it's just like it's an entertainment business, bro. If you get some guy that's a fucking great wrestler, absolutely gassed out, takes you down, and he's just fucking so good at controlling your hips, and he lays there for 15 minutes.
And he literally just pins you on your back, and he's going to try to hold you there for 5 minutes. Pin you, not hit you, not damage you.
Well, Rogan's saying like it starts if at the end of the round they're on the ground, start just right there again. It's like this is not fucking business. It's not. People are getting so good at not getting taken down though and getting back up.
I was saying before, what if they did? Okay, you have 2 timeouts. You can use those timeouts whenever you want. Timeout. Go back to the corner. All right, it's a reset.
Different game.
And you're just like dinging the guy, ding, 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 and he's like trying to get his hands to timeout.
No, you have wrist control on one. He's trying to get it.
Yeah.
He's like stiff knocked out, but a timeout.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, life's crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
Isn't it? Hopefully we're going to have a great fucking week. We got a bunch of marijuana back here for Big Schmidt.
Really?
It's right there.
Let's go.
There you go, buddy.
I didn't know it was for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
I didn't know the Jake Shields is kind of going off like about Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson spent his entire career pushing for freedom of speech. Recently was hired by the Israeli intelligence company, the Daily Wire. Now that he is working for Israel, him and his daughter are calling censorship for criticism of Jews, Israel, and World War II history. It's amazing how many people will sell their souls for a quick buck. Do you watch much Jordan Peterson?
No, too fucking many words for me, buddy.
He does.
I watch his daughter though. Just stare at her sometimes.
She's definitely.
Do you know
gorgeous.
what one of the funniest things I've watched recently was Sean Strickland's vlog of him beating up a Navy SEAL.
Was it good?
He's in the 5th round just doing this to the guy's head.
I'm glad he learned how to spar nicer against people that are fucking not fighters.
Who?
Sean versus Navy SEAL.
Oh,
that combination.
Well, he has respect for these Navy SEAls. I mean,
dude,
I get the other way. I get the whole Sneeko thing. It's like not like Sneeko's some humble guy coming to ask, hey, can I spar you? It's like Sean Strickland. But if a Navy SEAL,
well, then put him down to the body.
Do you
Give him a couple juicers to the dome.
He tried dropping him and couldn't.
You got to think that causes Dana White headaches, because if you got your UFC fighter going and beating the fuck out of the Navy SEALs, like what does that do? Because that's telling me that my MMA brother, you're a Navy SEAL. That's the way I look at you guys now.
Dude, no.
That's what it's done to me.
No.
I know that they're different,
I could not do
and
what
they
Navy
kill
SEAls
people.
do.
Yeah.
Not to disrespect them.
I couldn't do what they do. Not even close.
And they couldn't do what you do.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I'm
just two different
saying. So it's like if we got.
So what are you saying?
If you brought MMA into the Navy SEAL program to make them all fighters.
I know, but hand-to-hand combat's almost pointless when you're talking about war.
At this
Yeah,
point,
with weapons.
anymore, it really is.
Guns,
But dude, those guys go in there.
swords.
Those
try
guys
to-
fucking have
ninjas.
serious cojones, dude.
Jumping out of helicopters, pitch black, landing in the water, swimming down, taking out a fucking shark. I could never do that.
But when it comes to, Navy SEAL, they're the toughest, they're the baddest. It's like, no, they're hand to hand. No, they're not.
Right?
Yeah.
They'll get looked bad against a professional fighter. It's like,
I guess it's like boxing and UFC, right? Just two completely different things.
Yeah.
A little bit. What did you guys think of Neon about the whole weigh-ins thing? Did you think that was a little far-fetched, or do you think it was like good? Or
I thought it was fake.
It definitely wasn't fake.
It seemed a little fake to me at some point.
Leon said, what are you going to do when you get knocked out by Jorge and then Nate's team? It's like, you got to, like...
You gotta know.
That
You're in California. If you don't be like, will he change? Would he learn something if he did get caught up and he got his nose broken, some good black eyes, maybe a little broken bones? I wonder if it would change him. Be like, wow, I can't talk shit.
God, I forget.
For some reason, the video of him in the car, it just kind of the way he was acting after he got away in the car, it just kind of.
Buddy, there's nothing fake about Nate's team chasing him.
I just feel like they would have got him. You're gonna get your ass beat. I feel like it.
Bro, you see the fucking Jorge versus Nate team
They'd have got
battle?
me.
Well, yeah, you're fucking 260.
I know.
He was yelling, screaming, yeah.
Help!
And then he ran into a parking garage. And then he's asking his guy, he's like, yeah, you don't, he's like, I'm trying to tell you, you don't listen, and then you don't run into a parking garage. If he ran into a parking garage and there was nowhere to go, he definitely would have got stomped. If they were
Or
really that
using a
mad.
car.
Bobby Green legally changed his name to King.
It's kind of fire, actually. I saw that.
King Green.
Hot in here.
King Green. I like that. That's fire.
He's fucking hot.
Next time he walks out, King Green. I wonder if his nickname's still going to be King, so if it's going to be King Green. Or if he changes his nickname to Bobby, so it's King Bobby Green. That'd be kind of fire. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, man. I'm just happy to be here on a Sunday. I'm going to go home. I'm going to sauna for 20. I'm going to dunk in the cold plunge. I'm gonna have a good night. I'm gonna get some good sleep, and then I'm gonna wake up and not want to train and play. I'm gonna wish I was just playing Call of Duty all day, but I'll probably end up training. And I fucking just love Call of Duty. It's all I think about. It's all I want to do.
I'm excited too. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna have a great morning routine. Get a good lift in. Get a sweat going. Do a cold plunge. Get a nice latte. Come in here to the dojo. Get some grappling rounds, and I'm gonna head home and get a stream in. I'm looking forward to my Monday.
Yeah, I am too, man. That's so crazy, those quick little fucking trips like that. I went to California in the last 2 weeks twice. Just day trips. Bing, bing, and got so much shit done. Oh, man, it's crazy. Life's crazy, man. Life's good, man. Life's good.
The JSX, I mean, it does change it quite a bit.
Bro, JSX is so nice. Just walk in 10 minutes before the flight, check in, get on the flight. I literally slept the entire flight. Was fire.
Aljo's calling for the Diego Lopez fight. How do you think that fight would go?
Ooh, see, that'd be a sweet fight. I'm glad Aljo moved up. I think there's a lot of interesting fights. Oh yeah, I was telling Emron, I'm like, yo, will you message someone at the UFC and tell him? Because remember Snoop Dogg and Uriah did the Contender Series. There's like an option to fucking commentate. You can watch the professionals. You can watch that. Timbo Sugar Show commentating one of the Contender Series. We're gonna fucking make it happen. Well, we're trying. We're talking to you. We're gonna reach out and see if we can make that happen. Make that
That'd be really
just
cool.
one episode. See how it does, and I think it could be a lot of fun.
It'll be awesome. Wish we had Morrow with us though.
We could shoot him. I got his email. He texted me off his email. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the episode. Like, subscribe.
Hit that like, subscribe,
Down.
and then comment below. We're almost at 1 million subs there. Then patreon.com/RedHawk Academy. Me and Schmitty sit down. We go head to head every week. This week we brought in some fans. We brought in some fans
That
from
was
all
fun.
over the world and shot the shit. So that's coming out every week on patreon.com/RedHawk Academy. Love y'all. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for the bud.